Thank you very much for doing this.
Hi, Julia.
So what we're doing, I think I explained a little bit to you, but we're doing this series called What Men Really Want, honest conversations with quality men, such as yourself. And what it is we're basically trying to understand the world of dating has changed, and it's actually become really difficult for many people. I think men are confused, which I have a lot of compassion for, but that's for another series. But women are confused, and this series is all about helping women to date better and to make themselves, without changing their essence of who they are, but to help them, let's say, migrate towards the best version of themselves, which is closer to the ideal version that a man would like to be with. So whatever that is, I would like you to be extremely honest and open. Some things will not sound great to the women who are watching, some of the women, but it will help them by you confirming the theories that I teach a lot of the time. Sometimes showing some new theories, which I haven't even thought about. It will help me in my work with women, but it will also help women to know this is what men really want. So there are a lot of things that men don't tell women, which makes it more difficult because, they'll say one thing, but they'll actually mean another, and they'll go tell your friends another. And then in, the back rooms, they'll kind of say, well, this is what I really want, so this is why I didn't actually pursue it more, or this is why I didn't really like her because of this, but the woman will never know. So the woman will be left like, but I thought we had a great date. Why didn't he call me? Like, we were texting all the time. Where did he go? So things like that women want answers to. Okay?
Okay.
Great. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, Andrea, what do you really want from a woman?
Well, there is a series of things, and there is a sequence, I would say.
Okay.
So when I see someone who I like, first there is an attraction.
Okay.
An attraction, which is a physical attraction, and
we'll break all of this down, so don't worry.
Yes, and it's a physical attraction, but also there is a sort of a feeling that there is something something that is in tune.
So reciprocation from her of your attraction.
Well, I would say it is more finding that the two people are in tune. It's sort of an
so that she's
ease.
Attracted as well to you. So you're attracted, and she's also attracted.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the initial. That's before the conversation. Or is this the conversation?
No, I mean the conversation. The conversation. I mean, if in any social situation, say you have a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
Then sometimes, so let me start again. Sorry, because maybe I'm not. Maybe it's not just physical. I mean, there is a physical, but there's also just this feeling that this is a person you're at ease with, and it's easy to relate to, and there is some commonality of what triggers nice emotions, let's say.
Okay.
And so, in a day, in an evening, you meet a lot of people. Some, I mean, they're all pleasant, but some there is that feeling that there is something more. And so you want to pursue it. You want to say, okay,
let's meet again.
Well, let's talk more.
Right. Okay.
At the beginning,
Okay. Okay. So that segues really nicely into. Let's just break down those elements. Okay. So the first bit is the attraction. Okay.
Yes.
Tell me about the attraction. What is it that you are attracted to? Describe what she looks like. If you don't have specifics on hair or height, I don't care. Whatever is important to you, I just want you to mention it.
I don't have any specifics, to be honest, in the sense that it could be. I don't have an ideal.
Okay.
Let's say, in my mind. Freshness, I would say. Freshness is what attracts me.
I'm
Freshness.
not sure what freshness means. So can you specify that a bit more for the people?
Okay, so let me be very, very cliche, but do you know there was a long time ago this film called 10, and
I've
there
never
was this. I think the actress was called Bo Derek,
Okay.
and she comes out of the ocean. That it's fresh. Now the fact that she's got big boobs and it's like this, it's
Yeah,
not.
she's gorgeous, perfect body kind of thing. Yeah.
no. But she's fresh. So
Okay.
this freshness, this this uniqueness in a way.
Okay, let's break this down because freshness to me sounds like youth.
No.
Okay,
The
so
freshness
you
is
can find-
also in the mind. It's
Okay.
It's
Okay,
not necessarily. No,
let's be a little bit more specific because I think we're not getting there yet. You're in a room and there are lots of women. Some women will seem attracted to you, some won't. So, tell me physical type.
but, I cannot
Remember,
say.
these are honest conversations with quality men.
Yeah, but really, I cannot say.
So, somebody who's heavily overweight is okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Thank
So
you.
okay.
Got there eventually. All right. So, please.
Somebody who you can see, as far as my concern, is somebody who takes care of herself.
Okay, so
Yes.
to you, somebody who's heavily overweight doesn't look like someone who takes care of herself.
Correct.
She might take care of herself really well.
Yes.
She might just be overweight.
Yes.
So that is a turn off.
It's a turn off. Yes.
Okay, so then tell me physically, what's an ideal type for you? And don't tell me you don't have an ideal type because you do. Tell me physically, what's attractive?
Nice eyes,
Okay,
a nice smile,
okay.
relatively thin.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. I just needed some physical attributes. Okay, slim. So tell me slimness. Really skinny?
No.
No. Okay. Fat?
No. To me, it's a bit of a turn off.
Okay. Okay. Now we're getting there. Okay. So what does physically fit look like? So it's somebody who's slim,
Well, it goes back
athletic
to
built.
what I'm saying about freshness. Fresh means.
Yeah, but if Bo Derek is fresh, I'm afraid you'll be single forever. So
No, I said it's the fact that she's coming out of the, somebody.
yeah, unless you're going to a beach and that's how you're meeting lots of women in bikinis, it's going to be very difficult. So, freshness, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't understand what freshness means to me, except that to me, when I think of freshness, I think of young, coming out of the water, hair flowing. But to me, that says youth, great body, hair flowing.
Let's say youth. Let's say the good aspects of youth, which so I'm not saying that one who is not young should look like or try to look like she's young, but she should feel like she's young.
Okay, how does she do that?
It's also by the way she moves, and that comes from a certain lifestyle. So if she does yoga, she does sports, she's going to be sort of sit and move in a different way.
Okay,
than
so
if
it's a grace. It's almost
yes.
a femininity.
Yes, I would say let's say like an antelope. Let's say
Or
that
a cat.
grace. Yes, cats, but cats. I'm not so fond of cats,
Okay.
and cats you can also see them sort of slumbering.
Like cats are usually, they have this erect straightness and they're very graceful. It's one of the most graceful creatures, I find.
Yes, but my impression, my image of a cat is on a couch.
Okay, that's Garfield. Most cats that, yeah, okay. So,
But, as I said, I'm not a fan of cats, but
like an antelope.
An
okay.
antelope.
An antelope, okay.
Yeah.
So there's something about she moves nicely. So yeah, so a woman who's older who does a lot of yoga can have that.
Yes. Yeah, you can see the
So
posture.
there's a grace and femininity. That's what you're after.
Yeah.
Okay, and then nice eyes, we mean expressive eyes. What is nice eyes? I mean, I always tell women, show the eyes, show the eyes, show the eyes. So it's like I'm like, you know, mysterious eye, kind of sexy eyes, like show the eyes.
Openness. You can see, you can see the soul through the eyes, but this willingness to be open.
So
That's
okay,
it.
so it's kind of like friendly eyes and
Yeah.
okay. So this is all accomplishable by an older woman. So let me ask you then, how old are you?
I'm 55.
55. Okay. So what are the age ranges of the women that you, let's say, find dating appropriate at this point in your life?
Appropriate?
What would you date? What's the youngest you'd go? And what's the oldest you'd go?
I don't have.
Yeah, but I need you to give me a range.
Okay, so let's say, well, I am also realistic in the sense that, yeah, I could be dating a 25-year-old, but it's not going to be a long term thing,
Right.
Because she would have different ideas about life of what she wants to do than I am. So let's say 35 to 50. But,
To 55?
55. I mean, there's no upper limit. Let's say
So you date
it's
a woman
more
who's
in the
60.
mind.
You date a woman who's 60.
Let's say, no. Yes,
Let's just be honest.
yes,
Honest
yeah,
conversations.
yes. But let's say not if she acts like a pensioner. Let's
Right,
say.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay, what you're after is somebody because you are vibrant and youthful and you do a lot of sports. Well, you exercise, you cycle, you do yoga. So you want somebody that can keep up with your vitality.
Yes, let's say I don't see. If I compare myself when I was 35, I am probably a little bit more mature. But as far as things that I would be doing at 35, and now, I'm probably the same.
Right, physically, you mean?
Physically, but also as far as entertainment and things like that. So there is a continuum, whereas between 35 and 25, there is a difference. Mm-hmm. Now, at 35, I didn't have children, so, but I still had that, there's nothing that I was doing at 35 that I couldn't be doing that now.
Right.
And so, for me, that is...
So you want a woman with vitality?
Yeah.
Okay, and energy to keep up kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. And so you want her to look that part as well. You want her to be graceful, feminine, like a gazelle, we said.
Like a gazelle, yes.
Yeah, kind of like fluid in her motions, nice eyes, a friendly smile. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, now what about you see a woman in an event? What about something about her that would make you want to approach her? What is that something?
Before the first approach, just by seeing her, she must be. If I'm going towards her, it means that she's giving those signals
Yes.
that she is a gazelle. Let's say, she's not a gazelle, but she she has that freshness.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is she showing you interest? Or is that not so important?
No, that's not important.
Okay, so what's important is the fact that she looks the part, looks attractive, and kind of friendly to other people.
Yes.
So if a woman, is showing you interest, does that, do you know what I mean? Like she gives you the look and she smiles, would that make you more likely to approach her or does it matter?
Well, if she fits in that category,
okay,
yes.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
If she doesn't, no.
So what about for long-term potential? If it's just that one little element of she's not slim, but everything else is in order. Like personality-wise, she's great. She's interesting. She, looks after herself, dresses nicely, carries herself well, but she's just overweight. Could she have long-term potential?
Well, let's say for long-term potential, I mean, it depends also on how much overweight, let's say. But I would say, so honestly, right now, I would say I would try and see whether that could be remedied.
Okay, see if you can help her lose weight.
Yes. So if there is a willingness, let's say, on her part to remedy that.
So that's a big turnoff, this weight. So it's like a hard, I mean, even, that's a big, like you said, but you said there's a scale.
And let me be very
overweight.
base. Let me be very base. Let's go back to, let's go back to 10. And so I can picture, so I would like to have a partner who, when she comes out of the sea in the beach, I'm happy. She makes me happy to see her. I'm sorry, it's very base, but...
Okay, so the overweight is a big deal for you. I mean, you could, but if she does lose weight in the process, then she becomes more that picture, and then she becomes more acceptable within your terms.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be able to do a lot for her. You could teach her good, proper eating habits or exercise. And you said yourself, it depends on how overweight. So I want to understand the how overweight element because I'm a bit lost because some women just are a little bit curvy on their thighs. Some women are really slim. Some women have a little bit of a tummy because they've had babies. Some women don't have that. So what exactly is like a overweight? Because you also said not skinny. So is this like an obvious she's sticking out kind of thing?
Well, ultimately, I mean, why are people overweight? Because
it's hard to lose weight for a lot of people.
Why? Why is it hard?
Well, first of all, every 5 years, it becomes more and more challenging.
Yes.
The problem is that if you're slim, and you just put on, let's say, 2 kilos, and you're really conscious of your weight, you can actually, those 2 kilos you can remedy in one day of, just juicing. But if you're 20 kilos overweight, that's not going to go away in one day of juicing. You need to do more to get yourself back down. So over time, people just put on and put on and put on without, like, they're like, oh, it's only 2 kilos. But then a couple of years later, it's like another 2 kilos. And then, a year later, it might be another 2 kilos. So it gets to a point where you're so many kilos over that it's a big deal to lose it all. So it's a challenge.
Yes, it's a challenge, but it's a challenge like any other challenge. So it's so if it.
I'm trying to understand what exactly is, overweight. Let's say, what's the line between she's fit and she's strong, or she's just too overweight.
Well, the line is I think you can see the effort at the end. So if effort, I mean, it's overall the way one lives, and
what if she lives really healthy but she's just struggling to lose that weight?
Well, then if there is that if that is the case, then and she's really special, then yes, of course, then it's something that
could be gone over.
Yes.
If you see that she's making as long as she's not flopping out like really too much. So what makes you choose one over the others?
The excitement of meeting that person. So it's it's.
What does she do to incite that excitement in you? What makes you excited?
The excitement of doing things that the excitement of thinking that what we would do together would be a lot of fun and done very well, let's say.
So, in the process of converting you to somebody who sees her again, what does she need to do? So, is it like she needs to flirt with you? She needs to, show that she's somehow compatible. You like to do the same things. She needs to have good rapport with you. You need to have a good conversation. Like, what are the things?
Well, so I said again, I will call her if I, or I'll ask her a number, let's say, if in my mind I have a vision of an exciting activity together.
Okay. So that's kind of like while you're talking, she somehow needs to find out what you like and make you excited about doing it together.
Yeah, I mean, she has to be okay, but it has to be true in the sense
Right.
that
So if you mention you like to cycle and she's like, "Oh, I love to cycle. Oh, we should go, Oh, that, I've always wanted to explore that route or whatever it is." That's
yeah,
something,
that's
for example.
for example.
Or if you mention, oh, you really like, I mean, you kind of, you talk about the things you like to do in your conversations. And she, you mention a museum or exhibit or something you want to see. And she says, "Oh, that's something I really wanted to see." So you have an example. So she needs to leave you with something that you can do together because that makes it easier for you to call her.
Yes, because I mean that's why people get together, because they do things together and they enjoy
Okay.
doing together.
Okay.
At the end, it's is the honesty. Okay, so looking forward, a relationship requires that degree of honesty where you're not making things up, and you're just enjoying most of the things that you're doing together. Of course, there are lots of, when it's a long-term relationship, of course, there are things that you don't enjoy doing together, but then again, you need the honesty of recognizing that. To me, basically, honesty is the bottom line.
Sure. What kind of woman would you consider wanting a long-term relationship with? A long-term committed relationship with? So we mentioned all those qualities.
Well, at the end, it's not just it's not about me. What I want is what I can offer, but I would like to offer. Let's say I would like to offer things to people who don't ask.
Okay.
So I don't ask. It's not that I ask these things from that person. If I find them, it means that we have a future together.
Right. Okay.
But I don't ask. And so if the same principle, if she has the same principle, she's not asking for things. She's willing to offer things, and by willing to offer means that you know that as a long-term relationship, there will be things that there will be disagreements, but then if both people come with things how we can offer ourselves to the other, then you can resolve it. If you approach it by saying, I want, what do I want, then it's not going to work.
So there's kind of a team thing going on, isn't there?
Yes, but it's a bit on yeah. But it's how people see the relationship.
So does that mean the woman shouldn't ever ask for what she wants?
She shouldn't need to.
Well, I think lots of women would disagree with that. I think lots of women feel that they do need to. I'm talking about what she wants is either, let's say, she, wants to know where they stand. Like, they've been dating for a while, maybe they've become intimate, and she wants to know, is this a serious relationship?
Okay, well, that's a fair question.
Right. So that's something she's able to ask that question.
What I'm saying is that if she needs to ask me what she wants, that's very poor for me. She can.
Except that, I do a lot of study of the 5 love languages, for example. Different people have different love languages, and what to one person is giving, to another person might not even be noticed. But to them, giving or, receiving love might come in a different form. For example, for men, often giving is looking after the woman to make sure, he does stuff for her, like make sure her car is running or whatever it is. Like that, to some men. But to the woman, she might like to receive presents or compliments or whatever it is. And that to her feels like she's getting. There's no way that the man would know that unless she kind of, let him know that. Do you know what I mean? So are these topics that women can broach?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there's no, there's not an issue with her asking for what she wants as long as she does it in a nice way that doesn't feel like she's demanding.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I teach, of course. I teach women how to ask men in a nice way what they want from the man.
I think, yes, ask in a nice way. And in a nice way,
Very subtle way, by the way.
I would say a nice way is to say, this is not, it's not to say, this is what I want. But but let's say, so yesterday was Valentine's Day, right? And so the woman might feel that...
she wants him to take her out.
Right. And...
he might not think it's a big deal. It's just Valentine's Day.
Okay, that's right.
Right.
And so she might say, well, the day feels empty to me without some flowers on Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
So she could say in a way that, so how she feels not having what she would like to have, right?
That's great. Okay, that's a really good way to say it.
And so then the man can say, okay, I understand how you feel, and then can come with solutions. He can provide what she feels in the way she wants it, or she can suggest some other things.
Like,
and says,
I understand. What about chocolates? How would you, would chocolates be just as good as flowers? Something like that. Yes,
or yes, it could be. And so if there is that openness of options, okay, so it's not saying that's what I want, but this is how I feel if I don't have it. Anything else you'd like to add for the female viewers, or do you think you've covered it all? Thank you for listening.